First of all, I would like to thank my colleague, Minister Mohammed Amir, for coming to visit us and discuss on bilateral issues and also issues regarding the construction of the Great Renaissance Dam. We have also discussed about our bilateral relations. Our discussion was very candid, and it was also very constructive. And I would like to inform you that our meeting was successful. And having said this, I would like to read the joint press statement that we have prepared. A joint press statement by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Arab Republic of Egypt, Mohammed Kamel Amir, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Arab Republic of Egypt, Mohammed Kamel Amir, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, met in Addis Ababa on Tuesday, on 18 June 2013, and the two ministers reiterated their commitment to strengthen their bilateral relations and coordinate their efforts to reach an understanding regarding all outstanding issues between both countries in a manner of trust and openness, building on the positive developments of their relations. Both ministers underlined their desire to deepen their dialogue on a range of challenges that face the African continent in general and the Nile Basin region in particular. With regard to the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, both ministers agreed, as per the terms of reference of the International Panel of Experts, to immediately initiate consultations among Egypt, Ethiopia, and Sudan on how to move forward with the implementation of its recommendations, including the recommended studies to be conducted. In this regard, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia welcomed the Egyptian initiative to begin consultations amongst the water resources and foreign ministers of the three countries at the technical and political levels to ensure the implementation of the above-mentioned recommendations. The Egyptian Foreign Minister expressed Egypt's concerns regarding the possible effects of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam on Egypt's water use. The Ethiopian Foreign Minister, on his part, assured his Egyptian counterpart that the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which will be used for power generation purposes, is being built in a way that addresses Egypt's water security concerns. In such context, both ministers agreed to take into account the developmental interests of Ethiopia as well as the water security concerns of downstream countries. Both ministers, in a spirit of brotherly relations and mutual understanding, agreed to embark on consultations at the technical and political levels with the participation of the Republic of Sudan to implement in a speedy manner the International Panel of Experts recommendations. In this context, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia reiterated Ethiopia's previous position, which is committed to a win-win approach as the basis for future cooperation. At the end of their consultation, both sides agreed to exert maximum effort to strengthen the bilateral relations between the Arab Republic of Egypt and the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Both ministers stressed the need to continue the dialogue and communication with each other in order to follow up on the outcome of the meeting. In this context, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia accepted the invitation by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Egypt to visit Cairo in the near future. Shukran.
These discussions were held in a spirit of friendship, and that reflected actually the deep and historical relations that have always existed between the two countries and the two peoples of Ethiopia and Egypt. Ethiopia and Egypt have been always working together for many years and many decades. Our relations go back to the 20s of the last century, and inshallah will continue into the future. There are many elements that bind us together: cultural elements, historical elements, and most of all, the River Nile. The River Nile, the artery of life to both our countries, and of course to Egypt, which have no water resource but the Nile. I always said that no Nile, no Egypt. And I am sure that our brothers here in Ethiopia understand that and appreciate that, and will always keep the Nile flowing to Egypt. I reiterate that these discussions were held in a spirit of cooperation, of friendship, and of mutual desire to benefit everybody. As my friend here said, the Nile should be, something that binds us together, not divide us. The government, we have actually given all the help we can to our brothers in Ethiopia. The Egyptian private sector has investments in Ethiopia that now are over $2 billion actually of investments in Ethiopia. In the meantime, we appreciate that our Ethiopian brothers understand the importance of the Nile to us. We agreed that we will start immediately on consultations at both a technical level between the ministers of water resources and the political level at the level of the ministers of foreign affairs to put the recommendations of the international panels of expert report, which the three countries, Sudan, Ethiopia, and Egypt, have signed to put these recommendations into action. These recommendations ask for further studies to ascertain the effects of the dam, not only the safety of the dam, the environmental effects, but also the effects of the dam on the downstream countries, on Sudan and on Egypt. And we agreed that these consultations will start immediately and will finish in a short reasonable time. Some pronouncements were made in the heat of the moment, or because of emotions. You see, they are behind us. And I refer you to the statement that was issued by the foreign ministry, by myself at the time, and the statement that came from all the official sides to show you that we evaluate very highly the close relations between the two countries. Now we are embarking on a period of cooperation, mutual cooperation. All what we want, we are for the developmental efforts of Ethiopia. We are ready to work to help in that. But in the meantime, we are sure that Ethiopia is also very, determined not to hurt Egypt in any way, especially when it comes to water. As I said, we only have the River Nile. We have no other sources. We have no rain. And we get about 86% of our water from the Blue Nile, from our brothers here and friends here in Ethiopia. And we are sure that this flow of water will always be there. It has bonded us for centuries. It will continue to bind us for centuries to come, and you can cooperate and make it, as my friend said, a win-win situation for everybody.
How close are we to these negotiating how the Nile